What's going on, everybody? It's Jay, also known as It's Ghost Story, here with a Phantom Parade showcase video today. Today's video is going to be on Green Nanami, not for any hyper-specific reason, just kind of in the mood to mess around with this character today. I haven't really used him much at all. I mean, to be completely honest, if you had Green Yuji, he kind of made Green Nanami's existence pretty irrelevant. And before his SP was unlocked, he wasn't exactly much to look at whatsoever. He was pretty underwhelming from what I remember. So I've had his SP unlocked for a very long time, and I've kind of wanted to make content. I was messing around with him earlier, and I'm like, you know what, let's get this channel started. We're going to do some in-depth analysis on him. We're going to mess around with a few teams. We're going to do some tower. We're going to do sweep. We're going to do normal sweep because I don't think this character is very viable for the, 200 million hard sweep. But we're just going to showcase what this character is about. We're going to look at his kit. We're going to look at, teams that he could be on if he's a, more of a primary DPS, if he's more of a sub DPS. What things can we expect from this character? And if you have this character, should you invest in him? Should you invest in other characters over him? Is it worth to invest in him? If you're a free-to-play, if you're a whale. If we take a gander at my account, I spend just a little bit. So yeah. So we got Nanami. We're kind of looking at him. He's a hybrid when it comes to Jujutsu and physical damage. So his main skill 3 deals like an equal hybrid of almost 200% increase to curse technique and physical damage. Nothing really too crazy. He doesn't really have an insane skill 1 or skill 3. It's just kind of just basic hybrid curse energy and physical damage. His skill 2, to be fair, it's pretty alright. Nothing like Green Yuji, of course. The real GOAT. But, 75% crit rate, almost 76 that we have right here, basically 76, and 76% break damage for 4 turns. You can apply that to yourself maybe twice in a row to, stack the buffs. But we got to look, at his SP unlock, because that's kind of what made this character at least somewhat relevant in later content in this game. We'll see later if he is quote-unquote irrelevant in comparison to other green units, because he is a green attacker as the game lists him out to be. But we'll see how viable he truly is. So ultimate, also hybrid, physical and curse technique damage. It has a 30% chance to apply stop. Now, to be honest, out of all the units that have the stop mechanic, earlier when I was experimenting with him, that was the first time I've actually seen the stop mechanic in play. So I'm wondering if during, this video, we'll see the stop mechanic at play again. Because personally, I have played so many characters with stop, and I've never seen it before. But very basic 800% increase to curse technique and physical technique. And you have the crit enhance. Obviously, for Nanami and any other Black Flash oriented character, we're going to try and spec more into critical hits. You want to get Black Flashes as much as possible. This character, he's a toss-up for me. He's either never hitting Black Flash, or he is constantly hitting Black Flashes. And, sadly, he's not like Yuji. So he only gets 5 cursed energy per Black Flash. Unlike Green Yuji, or when he got his SP buff, he now gets 10. They both, do I know it's actually 25 now for Yuji. So Yuji just kind of has like the overall edge, I feel like, in consistency for damage. But this isn't a Yuji showcase. We'll do that in the future. This is a Nanami showcase at the moment. So with this, we're gonna kind of take Nanami into sweep first. We're gonna give him a good old gander. We're gonna see what numbers he pops up on the screen, and I will catch you guys on the sweep right about now. All right, guys. We have made our showcase team for Green Nanami. So this first part of the video is going to be Nanami as the main DPS. Kind of just to see, you know, let's say if like for some reason you don't have green Yuji, you know, and you just have green Nanami in the back pocket, I guess. You know, you want to experiment and see what he's like. This would kind of be the ideal team, at least for normal sweep and for Nanami's current situation. You obviously have green Ghetto. Spam that skill 3 to your heart's content. I've seen some people on other videos, especially talking about green Nanami, like why not use skill 2 instead? But they both technically do the exact same thing. It's just that skill 3 applies more damage. So obviously you're gonna want to pump out the damage. Why not? We have our boy Kaido. Now, the reason why we have Kaido over here is because Nanami, he's just one of those characters where, again, the black flashes are important, but he only gets 5 curse energy. He's not like Yuji. He's not getting all of those buffs in. Kaido, however, is going to supply us with enough curse energy in the beginning, and when he does die, because we are, you know, using Live a Long Life, which, you know, upon death, 10 curse energy, 10% damage increase for all allies, 10% health increase. Shoko, for very obvious reasons, we're going to be applying buffs. Memory, just for more damage, just to give to Nanami. And Nanami is going to see, you know, going to use I See Then Die. 45% physical technique increase, 45% curse technique increase, just so we can kind of have that equal balance on his ultimate. And then Ghetto's just going to have a Moment of Brothers. Again, just for more damage. And then Choso over here. See, he has I Will Follow You, Mr. Nanami. We're gonna want to increase that physical technique increase, and we want those critical hits. We just want everything. We want everything. We want to give Nanami the best opportunity possible over here, you know? In the editing process for the video, because I believe the audio was just originally way too loud for the recording. So instead of just like having the most ear-destroying audio for this showcase, I'm just gonna do some commentary while watching, you know, my performance with y'all. Kind of give my mindset and my approach while the gameplay is occurring. The main game plan, skill 3 with Kaido is obviously the main game plan. Nanami needs as much curse energy as possible. You know, he pops, you know, 30 CE for his skill 3. So he needs to have as much CE as he can for the start, because he's not going to pop Black Flash on like skill 2. Actually, I forgot on this video he does. So I did, that was a complete smack in my face. But I have done like multiple other runs where Nanami does not pop Black Flash on skill 2. So this run was really, really good. In fact, I'll throw up the other videos on screen where on, you know, turn 2, Nanami's just not Black Flashing at all. The reason why I wanted to use this recording specifically is because it just seems like Nanami in his element. This was kind of like the best part of the showcase I could really get. So we're just pumping in curse energy. We're just kind of throwing in Kaido's ultimate, not because we need it, but because I just kind of want it off my screen. I'll be completely honest with you guys. So the game plan is just to keep Nanami's buffs rolling, get the skill 3s out on Ghetto and Nanami, keep the skill 2s rolling with Shoko, and then just spam those recollection bits the moment we're able to ult. Because with this boss, the boss takes away curse energy and ult gauge. And I'm going to be honest, you let the Umibozu boss ult you, and you basically have a certified dead run. Nanami with no curse energy is a slog to go through, because, you know, God forbid you want to use that skill 1 and you're hoping, you're hoping that he pops Black Flash on that skill 1. It's not coming. It's not coming at all. So thankfully, Kaido dies on, you know, this turn. We get Choso out. Choso is going to be buffing with that recollection. He's going to be debuffing with his skill 2. We're doing Rainbow Dragon just for the sake of damage. And then we're going to let Nanami stack that on. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, I didn't even fully see how much damage he did, so I paused just to show you guys. That was 7.6 million right there, and Nanami actually hit the stop effect on the boss right there. So, all in all, pretty good stuff. And then we're popping Shoko's ult again for the same reason as Kaido. We don't really need it. We're just kind of doing it just to throw in more damage, and we kind of want to just go to phase 3. Beautiful stuff. 3.5 million from Nanami. So, the rest of this run is like as brain dead as possible. Just debuff with your debuffers, buff with Shoko, skill 3 with Nanami, and buff with Nanami whenever you have the opportunity or you feel like you should. Yeah, because turns like those where Nanami doesn't Black Flash at all and he gets sub 1 million, ugh, you know? But he gets the curse technique increase from overtime. He gets the, curse energy increase from overtime. And again, this is one of those situations. We throw out the Choso ult, not because we need it, but because we just kind of want to. Choso is also a very, very important part of this fight. The only thing is that when I do show the damage stats, he is on the lower side, but obviously that's because he came in late, and we're not really like using Choso to pump out the most damage. I mean, we're doing this specifically. This is the Nanami Glaze. Like, these showcase videos are supposed to be Glaze videos. We're trying to show them in their best circumstances, trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, try and see, is they even worth it? Are they worth your time? Like, and then we're over here. We're popping ult because we don't want to get hit by the Umibozu's ult. Rainbow Dragon. Break into 5.3 million. Absolutely beautiful. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, this was like 16 million, I believe. We'll see if I'm right. 16 or 15. Maybe. Yeah, it was 16 million. I even go into the... Yep, I believe this is where I go into the battle report part. Yeah, and show off that Nanami almost hit 10 mil during that ult. Now, again, at this point, there's not really much commentary I can add to, like, what was the game plan on what to do. Really, it's just skill 3 until the boss dies. So, normal sweep, you can finish it with Nanami. This was under, like, probably the best conditions I can put it, without, like, basically making Choso, like, outshine him completely. Like, again, this is just for Nanami to, show off his stuff. So, again, not doing hard mode sweep because I feel like it would be really bad for Nanami. However, we are going to be experimenting with Tower. Geto finishes off the boss right here. And then we'll have, the report being showed off. Nanami did 31 million, Choso 15, Geto almost 22. And then, obviously, Nanami's able to hit a pretty big number under the correct circumstances. However, that's just sweep. Sweep. It's cool. You're able to finish normal sweep. However, the real important thing is, can you bring this man into Tower? And on top of that, is he even really, somebody that you should be using as, the primary unit on sweep? So let's say, for example, you don't have Choso or you don't have Geto. Could Nanami fill in as a potential sub DPS to help you out as well during sweep? The next segment of the video is going to be sweep with Nanami as Sub DPS, and then after that, we're going to be getting into the tower stages. So this would be the second part to the sweep part of the showcase. We're running a pretty, similar team to last time. We only removed Choso, and my reasoning for removing Choso isn't because I believe Ghetto would fit in a better spot. It's mainly due to thinking about free to play for the most part. Reason being is that obviously Ghetto is on standard banner, or still is on standard banner. So it's a higher likelihood that most people would have Ghetto in the first place. Plus, we're still going to be able to get things done with Ghetto and not Choso. I feel like Choso, to a certain extent, on this team would be overkill. So take the results that we would get from this part of the showcase and then just amp it up a little bit more if we had Choso on it. However, still the same game plan, Curse Energy amping. Really just mainly thinking about that increased physical damage taken increase for green, and that'll help out Yuji. Because Yuji will be the main DPS for this. Nanami will be the sub. And we will just kind of see overall if Nanami can kind of keep up with Yuji, so to say. Because in the showcase, Ghetto, he didn't fall behind. He had 10 million damage less. Choso had about 12, 14 million, and we're still going to operate under the same thing. We're going to buff. We're even going to buff with Yuji first turn as well. And then we're just going to lay it in. No Black Flash, baby. No Black Flash on either of them is horrendous. Okay, and you know what? We're buffing again for the culture. Yuji already has ult, but we're not using that yet. There we go. That's what I want to see. 8.5. 8.8. Pretty relative, Nothing too crazy. Now, Nanami's gonna put this one away. 1.3 million. We got some Black Flashes rolling in. This is pretty good. We're doing pretty well. Now, we're just gonna hope that Kaido dies soon. That's all. But with Yuji, this boss shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. Alright, we got the debuff with Nanami on there. And Yuji is throwing it down. $7.3 million altogether. Nanami hit 3.1, Yuji hit 4.2. Again, pretty relative. Okay. And we're not going to ult with Shoko yet because I kind of just want, to get Kaido out of here before I do that, or at least get to phase 3 beforehand, Only one Black Flash from Yuji, yet he still got relative damage stats to Nanami, which was pretty impressive. 1.6 mil again. And Yuji with the 1.5. And then, just because Yuji gets ult back so quickly, we're just gonna go all in with this. 3.5 mil. It's okay. You know what? We'll do that next turn. Buff, buff. Not too much damage. 2.8 million. Yuji with the 1.2. Okay, and we got Kaido out on turn 13. You know what? Hey man, things just be happening on this game. What can I say? Okay, and then we're gonna drop alt with Yuji on here. And no guard break, interesting. $5 mil. Okay, so sadly, because of Kaido coming out really late, we only got 9 out of 10 on the sweep. And here's the thing. In Burst, the damage looks kind of similar. But it's just the fact that Yuji's Curse Energy just kind of keeps up way more than Nanami. I'm going to give it another attempt, and we're going to see if we can get the full 10 sweep. Again, the luck on Kaido just staying there, it's hard. Like, you have a memory on where he gets attacked for 3 turns straight, and he's like, you know what? We're staying alive for a full 12 turns. We're not even letting Geto really stack. So again, a little bit of a spoiler. The run was practically the exact same. The difference was about 1 million or so in damage, and Kaido ended up dying just as late. He died on turn 13. So I was going to show the full extent of the run, but I didn't want the first video to be too egregiously long. So instead, I'm just going to go over the gameplay again. It was pretty much relatively the same. Skill 3 spam for the win on Yuji and Nanami. We only finish, spoiler alerts, at 9 out of 10 on the sweep. So I would say under better conditions, it's definitely a 10 out of 10 clear. But knowing Phantom Parade, it's a very RNG heavy game equally as much as it's a quote unquote, I guess I would say skill heavy game, trying to understand the best combinations you can make to get the win. However, you could put that memory on Kaido that makes him get attacked for 3 turns straight. He'll live, and the boss just won't care about him until right before the fight is over. So, overall, like I said on the original recording, before I just had to interject, and I'm like, You know, maybe we shouldn't just include an entire full sweep segment, which is basically just the exact same thing with only a mill or two in damage. My only thing is that Nanami did pretty well. He kept up with Yuji under these circumstances specifically. The sweep 10 out of 10 is wholeheartedly 100% possible. The only thing that took it away from that is Kaido, the immortal Kaido. That is all. Next segment of the video is obviously going to be Tower. Tower is going to be floor 67. And I'm not sure if I go over this in the initial recording, but the tower floor after that will be 71. So I'll obviously put timestamps if you want to see 67 first or 71. So yeah, we're going to start on the lighter side. The goal is to try floor 67, and then we'll see if we can go a little bit higher than that. If Nanami can perform pretty well, well, we'll see. See, because my main fear is that when we get to the floors in the 70s, what will happen is that because bosses take like a 90% cut to a very specific damage type, either curse technique damage or taijutsu damage, Nanami operates on that 50-50. So I'm kind of wondering if we can just hard focus on like his physical damage or hard focus on his curse technique damage, and would he still operate to a level where you can use him in these later floors of tower. So we're running this team. I haven't faced floor 67 in forever. I kind of forget the whole shindig about it. So we're kind of going through this blind, and we're rocking Shoko. We're kind of running sustain. Like, again, I don't really remember much of this tower floor. So we're running sustain. We're also running, more alt gauge, more damage dealt increase, more crit rate increase. Choso with the crit rate increase. Choso's going to pop in. And because it's tower, Kaido will die in a reasonable turn. Am I right, guys? Am I right? Okay. Let's get this started. Let's see how well Nanami does in, I would say, the later tower floors. Okay, so I completely forgot. This boss starts with alt just prepped and ready. Let's just get this. So this will activate again on turn 9. So we will be getting this when Nanami gets his overtime passive. So let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. We want to get that ultimate. Goodbye, Inumaki. I'm not Inumaki. Kaido. I'm so used to running our Inumaki on like every single stage. Okay, so we're gonna buff. We're gonna pop this, pop scale, pop this, and then Nanami, please don't disappoint me, please. Chat, we're investing in the Nanami stocks right now. Dear Lord. Okay. 30 CE being taken away. I'm not gonna lie, if he hits Nanami with that, we might be cooked. It might be over. No black flashes. Kind of depressing. And 30 CE has been taken away. We are officially in the danger zone. Okay. We're just gonna buff anyway. We're gonna get close to our ult. Disruption. Choso hit it. Doesn't really do anything crazy. Shoko heals herself not once, but twice. We're gonna pop the recollection just because. Get the ult out. Choso, my My debuff god. 2.8 mil on Ghetto's ult. Let's see if Nanami's able to, you know, kind of work with it. That didn't look too crazy. Let's see. 6.3 mil. Okay, okay. So let's take a gander. So I'm not gonna lie, he's not really outdoing Ghetto by much. Another hit on Ghetto. See, at least Ghetto's passive, you know, it's he gains curse energy every couple of turns, so you don't really have to worry too much about Ghetto. Ooh, I should have actually combo ulted with Shoko. I was so oblivious to that for a second. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Pop Supernova, pop this. And let's hope that Nanami is not afraid of black flashing. Brother loved the black flashing when it was sweep time. You're gonna make this unit is gonna make me vomit, guys. Hey. All right, nice, I guess. So we're gonna keep flying. Actually, how many turns is left on? Only one. Yeah, so we're gonna have to back it up. And it's hard because Nanami's not hitting Black Flash. We're not getting that much curse energy. We're back in it. So, let's see. I mean, do we buff this turn, chat? We're gonna buff. We're not even taking the gamble. We're not even taking the gamble. We're gonna buff. Get the ult for next turn. He's gonna take the curse energy anyway. Holy. Okay. So we're gonna do skill 1 just because we want skill 3. You know? This is gonna do a mediocre amount of damage. We're okay. And then we're just gonna whale it in. $2.5 million from our boy Ghetto. Alright, Nanami, it's time. Okay, okay. Let's see. What number is going to appear on my screen today? 7.1 mil. We're making progress, and that's what matters here. And the boss is already on the verge of its ultimate again. Oh, it has its ultimate already. Okay. Well, because this is a Nanami showcase, we're going to try and keep Nanami alive. In fact, Choso should be able to break right here. If he doesn't... Actually, no, we'll break. We're breaking this turn. Doesn't matter. We'll heal Nanami. We're biased. We're biased. We're a bunch of Nanami glazers during this video. Get the break. And you know, we're dropping Shoko's ult here just so they can heal in the back. And Nanami doesn't have enough curse energy again, so that's fun. Oh, and I didn't use the recollection. I forgot the recollection doesn't really work on ultimate, so... Oh, and Shoko's at... Not Shoko. Choso's at a flying red scale. Okay. Let's get back in there. I don't even have the curse energy for skill 3. I'm just gonna wait a turn. Can we Black Flash, Nanami? Come on. Let's do it. Just okay. Just one Black Flash is cool, I guess. You know, I don't judge. And again, we don't have enough curse energy to keep it pushing. And then with this, we'll just use Recollection bit with Shoko. And now Nanami just has no curse energy at all. Now we're just operating on hopes and dreams with this character. We'll just break damage and crit rate increase because we're going to get all... I don't think Choso is going to be able to do Slicing Exorcism this turn. He's not. We're going to have Blood Edge. But we should kill this turn. If we don't, is it going to be a Nanami skill issue moment? Either that or Ghetto's going to save the run. 1.7 mil, it's looking kind of scary out here, but Nanami should be able to pack this one up. And Nanami does just that, 4.7 mil with Ghetto. And that's floor 67. So, overall, despite the fact that Nanami was supposed to be the main DPS, in overall damage, he was outdamaged by Choso and by Ghetto. Now, obviously, Choso in this scenario is the better unit. Don't get me wrong. And we're rocking him as a debuffer. The main issue, as we just saw in floor 67, is that when you get into a fight where Nanami doesn't have accessibility to like hefty pools of curse energy, he has so many turns where he's just kind of standing there and doing nothing. But notice on turns where we use ultimate, he's able to, outdamage, Ghetto and Choso. But this is only with the circumstance that Ghetto doesn't have an ultimate, not an ultimate, a recollection bit that I'm using to help his ultimate. And I'm also not using a recollection bit to help Choso's ultimate either. So the fact that they're not really that far off, kind of put Nanami in this weird sticky situation. And on top of that, we had like no black flashes. So like, I don't even think we reached up to 5 during that whole 17 turn fight. So to be completely honest, I'm not very excited to try the next tower floor I had in mind. But we'll see. We're going to see. We're going to see what he could do. So I'll see you guys on the next floor. We're now on the tower floor that scares me the most for this little, sequence of challenges we've had for Green Nanami. So this boss applies 90% curse technique total damage cut to itself. As we've seen, Nanami's primary source of damage, it's 50-50. So the usage of this recollection bit, not necessary. So instead, we're going to replace it with Like-Minded Sisters. If my eyes can find it, give me a, there we go. And we'll try this out. I may do some cuts in between, depending on how horrendous these runs go. We'll just start swapping teams, or if it gets to the point where it's like, I just give up, then we will go to a lower level tower floor to experiment more. All right, let's see. Okay, so I'm not going to buff this turn. Instead, I'm just going to do a skill 1. We're just going to hope that we don't have to buff and Nanami just kind of goes crazy. Let's get the minion out of the way. Okay. We're applying Supernova for the stat debuff and for the poison. No black flashes out of Nanami. It's looking real bad. And, we're just going to kind of just drop ultimate on this guy's head immediately. We're about to treat Nanami like an extremely bootleg green Yuji. How much damage was that? Let's see. So 3.3 million. Cool. Okay. Kind of what we're used to at this point, realistically. Get Ghetto healed. Ooh, taking Choso's cursed energy is wicked. And he's immobilized. Okay. We're just gonna throw out this. Actually, no. We'll save it. We'll save it. Alright, we'll drop this Shoko ult right here. And we'll hope we'll kill the minion right here. That's the preferred ending. Remember when I said it was preferred if we killed the minion here? Yeah, it was preferred. You know, apparently it's not a mandatory thing. So we're gonna throw out Ghetto's ultimate. We're gonna hit the boss with it, and we're gonna hope that Nanami's ult is able to put some pressure. Yeah, Nanami should be able to finish him up. There we go. Let's see. I mean, a highest is still 3.4. Well, 3.3. Looking a little interesting. Ghetto obviously can't output a high amount of damage with all of his, you know, abilities except skill 1 are curse energy base. So we're kind of just heavily, and I mean heavily, relying on Nanami to lock in for us. And no Black Flash from Nanami. Am I surprised? Of course not. Why would I? We're gonna get Shoko to heal on this turn. Drop an ultimate. Ooh, is Ghetto dead here? Ooh, almost.
なんとかしてよ。
このって困ったな。さて、行きますよ。
Actually, it still has evasive up, doesn't it? You know, we're just gonna... Ooh, we're gonna skill 1 through it.
ってわけだから。
Because I don't want to take the risk.
噛みつけ。
Yep.
なんとかしてよ。
困ったな。さて、行きますよ。
了解ってわけだからよろしく。
飲み込め。そろそろおしまいにしましょう。
You know, I wonder if a dual ult from Choso and Nanami will do the trick. We'll see.
行きますよ。
了解ってわけだからよろしく。
白蓮鮮血。頭角呪法ガラガラ。
Ooh, no break. With just literally a sliver left. And Ghetto couldn't secure it. That sucks. Ooh, that's really bad. Okay. So, we'll just heal Shoko right here.
これはいけませんね。責任役で
やるぞ。
そろそろおしまいにしましょう。
We'll pop ult just for the general healing.
これはいけませんね。
ヒューってやってひょいったよ。いけいけどんどん。
すぐに手を打とう。片付けます。
了解ってわけだからよろしく。
仕留める。
Oh, Nanami, you're disappointing me so much, brother.
了解ってわけだからよろしく。
そろそろおしまいにしましょう。
なんとかしてよ。
何かあると。さて、行きますよ。
Ooh. You know, let's save the ult. We'll save this too. We'll just heal Choso normally. Another Blood Edge.
なんとかして
And
よ。
does Flying Red Skill run out this turn? No, this will last for 3 more turns. So,
何かあると考えるのが普通。
we're gonna get our crit up.
行きますよ。
Throw out another skill
了
1.
解ってわけだからよろしく。
責任役の際。
なんと
Okay,
かして
we're
よ。
gonna pop healing. We're gonna pop piercing blood.
了解ってわけだからよろしく。
白蓮鮮血。
Okay. Now, it's either we live and we win, or we delay for a little bit longer. I feel like we can do this. I think, is that it right there? Alright, and that is floor 71 done with Nanami. So, I feel like, yeah, that overall, it wasn't that bad to do. So, Nanami is a main DPS. Now, obviously, you are not hitting these gargantuan numbers with Nanami. I mean, without the help of Choso and Ghetto, I mean, this run would be basically impossible. Not a lot of Black Flash procs. Again, very low end damage. And again, that is definitely attributed to the fact that the boss, you know, has that cut to cursed energy damage. So you're just relying on that other half of the physical part of Nanami's kit. But it is possible to run him on basically this endgame level content. I mean, overall, if you put the excess damage up, he did 22 million, floor 71. I feel like if we try to take him any higher, he would just get diffed completely. But even if we go to like the higher floors, I believe is floor 75. Yeah, like floor 75. I don't believe that Nanami could realistically pull this one off. Like this one right here, Like this guy would just put the beats on your unit. The way a lot of people actually beat this, they take out that high Joe and they just spam that skill 1 on Buddy right over here and call it a day. So, and I don't want to like obviously do that. I mean, obviously we could just make a team that Yuji would function in and just place Nanami into it. But I think it's a little bit unnecessary. I think what we've demonstrated in this video is actually good enough. So, overall, how do I feel about Green Nanami? So, from looking at him, just straight up, he is functional. He is usable. But, should you use him? And I'm going to go with probably not. I would actually put him, I would give him like a thumbs down. Now, you may be wondering why, if he's able to perform at such a high level of tower, and why, you know, if he's able to clear sweep. Here's the thing. There is another unit that does the exact same thing, but better. You have him. He's right here. He's the Taijutsu unit. He does everything Nanami does, but better. You see this buff that Nanami has? Oh, trust me. Old bro over here has this too. And it's, I mean, and he has Black Flash increase rate. Now, don't get me wrong, break damage is cool, but the Black Flashes is where it's at for these characters. Because the thing is, we've already went over this. You've seen this in the video. No curse energy, ain't nothing going on with this character whatsoever. The moment curse energy is zapped out, you're either waiting for turn 9 for something to happen, or, you know, you're bringing Kaido in before fights, filling in an extra slot so he can get some curse energy. If he doesn't, he is like every other turn, he is either, you know, hitting skill 1, or you're popping skill 2 in hopes you can get to your ultimate sooner. You know, his ult gauge isn't that high to hit. I mean, it's actually easier to hit his ult gauge than Green Yuji from a surface level perspective. But then you have this skill Attentive right here, and you know it, that's 232 ult gauge increase. Doesn't play around whatsoever. Also on top of the fact that because you can only rely on Black Flashes proccing from skill 1 or skill 3, you can't really super rely on his ultimate to get too much done. With Yuji, you know, if he's running out of curse energy, which sometimes he will, it just happens, you will probably never be in a situation where Green Yuji runs out of curse energy and he doesn't have an ultimate in the back pocket ready, so you can get that curse energy back. He just gets ult way too quickly. He has that built-in crit resist decrease, and also, you know, he applies that ultimate fill gauge rate to himself for 3 turns. So, again, if you think like, oh yeah, Green Nanami, really cool guy, I'm sorry. There's a cooler Green Taijutsu unit around. And I mean, just compare him to the other Nanami units. You know, we got Yellow Nanami. Again, he has that same thing, you know, as Green Yuji, but he has the damage taken increase and the crit resist, you know? And his ultimate also applies Black Flashes, which helps with his passive. And you know what? You also have, you know, Yellow Nanami's overtime passive is better. I believe Blue Nanami, I don't own Blue Nanami, but Blue Nanami also has that gimmick where he pops Black Flash during his ultimate. So, I mean, the only Nanami that doesn't pop Black Flash is T Nanami right here. And don't even get me started on how much of a better unit he is. But this guy right here, he's on the lower echelon of units. Characters like Geto was definitely helping him drag along. Choso for sure. For sure. Like, even if you just had Choso as a skill 2 merchant for like your entire run, you're still fine. You're not sweating whatsoever. So with Green Taijutsu, if you have Green Nanami, here's my advice. If you are a Nanami diehard super fan and you're also conveniently a whale and you're like, I want to play as a Nanami character that also happens to be green, go ahead. You're not going to lose a lot out of this character if you have a lot of things to invest into. But if you're free to play or if you're a really light spender, don't bother. Don't even. This guy is where it's at. This guy is still usable. You know, like I am on floor 82 right now on tower, and this guy is still being used. On every single green taijutsu floor, you want to know who I'm using? I'm using this guy. The reason why I made this video is because I'm like, is there any reason to use him at all? I mean, there is if you don't have him. But if you don't have him and you have him, it's kind of confusing. You know, they're all in standard banner. But overall, in terms of green units, take a gander at green. Okay? We'll look at it together. You could probably skill one merchant with Haijo, and you would probably have a better experience than with Nanami overall. I've also heard around some corners that, you know, Green Saki is also very strong. We may do a showcase video on her in the future. Not sure how soon in the future. But I have gotten her SP unlocked, so we may see that potentially. But I have a lot of other SPs I have to tackle. You know. So when it comes to taijutsu, you got the main man over here. Green Maki as well. I haven't messed with her at all, really. We may look at her. She's probably better than Green Nanami since she came out way later. But I won't make any hasty assumptions. But for Green Taijutsu, if you're looking at this guy, turn your brain off. Go to this guy. Okay? If you're free to play, focus your resources on what's best long term. And the future is Yuji. I mean, he wasn't, you know, the first featured SSR for no he's guy was just he's just an LR you could pick up. And he's fun, he's fine, but he has blatant flaws. You know, you have to rely on Black Flash for curse energy if you don't have Kaido. You know, and later tower floors, that hybrid damage is going to catch up with him hard. You most likely will be carried by your other green units on your team. Overall, unless you're like a Nanami super fan and you just want to play Nanami on every single color, it's not worth it. If you're a whale, go ahead. If you're free to play, skip out on leveling this guy up. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. If you would like to see more Phantom Parade content overall, not even with just tower or sweep or unit reviews, showcases, you want to see summon videos, you want to see tips, tricks, the whole 9 yard, just subscribe to the channel. We'll make sure to pump out more content in the future. This is Jay, aka It's Ghost Story, and that's Green Nanami. We're signing out. Peace.